Brought to you by the Every Dollar app. Start budgeting for free today.
My question today is about how to help my mother recover from a romance scam. She recently found out that there's about $1.2 million missing from hers and my grandmother's estate, and it's gone. And I know I'm not responsible for my mother's spending, but there's just very few resources out there to help someone as they recover from this kind of scam.
Wow. So he has disappeared?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't even think she met him in person. So this got flagged from her bank after she transferred $300,000, and they flagged that. But that was only the biggest transfer. There were a lot of other smaller transactions totaling, that I'm aware of, about $1.2 million. But it might be more.
How old is your mom?
She is 71.
What a horrible thing. I'm so sorry. Simultaneously makes me angry and sad. Wow. Okay, so I guess there's a couple of areas. Is your mom just lonely, or is she diminished mentally?
That's a great question. Definitely the first one. We thought that she might be diminishing mentally. I still hold that opinion. There are other family members that think she's just the way she's always been.
Is there anything left?
She told me there's about $5,000 of my grandmother's money left. My grandmother does have income, and that's going to cover her nursing home expenses. She's actually in hospice now, and I do feel like my grandmother's going to be okay. We've been working with the nursing home to make sure that they're going to continue her care, and it's not going to be too much longer.
Who's in hospice, your grandmother or your mother?
My grandmother, because my mother is a power of attorney for my grandmother, which is how this came out, because I'm like the second in line for a power of attorney. I forget that term right now.
So how is your mom successor? How is your mom reacting to all of this? Is she prideful towards you all? I can do what I want to do, or is she scared and humbled, take over this, I'm not capable?
Hey, it's George. That's right. I've been here the whole time, just creeping. Kind of like the creepy spammers and scammers out there using and selling your personal data. Not cool, guys. Not cool. And that's why you need to check out Delete Me. Delete Me will find and remove your info from all of these data broker sites to reduce the risk of spam and scam in your life. Delete Me has already removed my info from over 250 websites that don't have any business having it. And as a Ramsey fan, you'll get 20% off all of their plans, which comes out to less than $9 a month. So after this clip, go sign up and take control of your privacy at joindeleteme.com/Ramsey or click the link in the description to get the deal. All right, back to the call.
No, she's really in denial at the moment. I've tried to send her budgets. I've tried, stuff from y'all's website, and
okay. Unless she is mentally diminished, you can't make her do anything.
Correct.
So all you can do is help her with her guilt once she discovers she's been scammed, and that she's probably going to need to sit down and see a good therapist, a good counselor.
Yeah. It's almost like an addict behavior. Like I'm kind of waiting for her to hit bottom, and then I'm going to try to scoot her some resources, which is what I'm doing now.
I'm not scooting her any resources. She's not responsible enough to handle them. You've got to decide how she can manage. You can help her manage the resources she gets her hands on, and manage those. And if you give her some food money, instead just give her some food. Because we got to get a long way away from this competency issue. I can't tell why she's incompetent, whether it's just sheer loneliness and she's not a very smart person, or whether she's mentally diminished. I can't tell. And you can't either, is what it amounts to. So, you've just got to treat her like that and go, oh, man, it's so sad. Such evil people out there. And have you turned this over to the FBI yet? Well, you can't if she's in denial. Because she's got to file it.
Right. I think they're aware because of the conversation I understand with the bank. I do think she's on, I've researched all this. I think she's on there's like a list. So I think it has been reported to the FBI.
Okay. All right. And if there's anything you can do to try, sometimes, once in a blue moon, they actually recoup some of this stuff. But, wow, I'm so sorry. What a horrible thing. So, yeah, you're there for her emotionally as she deals with the guilt of this level of screw-up, and you're there for her basic necessities, but we're not scooting her resources. She doesn't need any scooting. She needs, she needs care. You're going to have to treat her like she does not have competency, because she obviously doesn't.
Yeah, the thing that I would add, Allison, is you mentioned you're going to have to let her hit rock bottom, and unfortunately, you're going to have to do this. And this is where role reversal takes place. You become the parent, she's the child, and it's very, very difficult. But short of, Dave, the children being able to pay for a private investigator, the only way, I hate to be so negative, but I've read into some of these things because we've taken this call several times over the last 6 months, as I recall. And I did some research. Very, very hard to recover this. These people, this may not even be a real dude. This could be a woman in some foreign country. They are very creative, and they cover their tracks. And you almost have to have a private investigator who's got some experience in this stuff, number one, and who you can afford, number two, who can hopefully entrap them and catch them. That's the only way. Many times the law enforcement, Dave, just doesn't step up here because there's so many of these cases. So I hate to be so negative. But that's the reality.
It's on the computer in the other end of something in Russia or wherever.
You don't know where it's going.
There's no telling.
It's really tough,
man. Yeah, we've taken this call a bunch over the last 30 years for sure, in different forms. The internet has made it more prevalent, I guess, but it's not that unusual. But so I guess, be there for her emotionally, be there for her necessities. We're not ever going to put her in charge in the near future of any kind of assets, because she's not responsible or capable or competent or whatever the phrase is we want to use. And those aren't insulting words. They're just observations of where she is, obviously. But you don't. Wow. So and there's a part. If I'm Allison, and I think it's normal for the family members, there's part of them that are aggravated with mom.
Oh, sure.
For not having her crap together any better than this, But so those of you out there, this happens almost exclusively to elderly that are and let me back it off, okay? Not even elderly, 50 years old and beyond. If you want to call that elderly, if you're 20, that's ancient, okay? But if you're 60, it's not ancient, okay? So, but anyway, 50 years old and beyond, lonely and disconnected and not involved. Where, like, if Allison is the successor trustee in the situation, then she leans in and is very involved in mom to where she knows this is happening.
Correct.
Where if they're disconnected even the least amount from the rest of the family and from friends, where no one is raising a flag going, "You're doing what?" But you got to have you got to be in a conversation to be able to say that. And that's not on Allison. It's not her fault. But this is who it happens to: the lonely. Yes. That's who it happens to. Wow, how sad. Create your free every dollar budget today, the simplest way to budget for your life.